Hey guys, and welcome back to another Enshrouded. And I hope you've had a good Christmas and a very good New Year as well. And I hope you didn't overindulge too much. With that being said, I'm back on Enshrouded. I've done another build, and this one I've called the Black Gates of the Albaneve, simply because it's right at the beginning of the Albaneve biome. So obviously you have to go through the caves, you have to adventure through there, you know, past the pit and everything else, and then when you first get in, obviously there's the goat farm. And once you're past that, you come to the first bridge across, I wouldn't call it a chasm, almost like a valley where you have the frozen river running down it. There's a waterfall at one end and then it drops off over the edge, and you can see there's all the shroud down below. Well, either way, you will see it. Now, whereabouts am I talking? Well, as just described. Here we go, here's the weld. Obviously, I'm up on the spire at the moment. So you can see it's over here. So this is where we are. And as you can see, it's almost right through the passage. And if I go in slightly, you'll see there's the pit. Cave passage, pit, and then as you come through here, if I remember rightly, around here somewhere. Where did they hide that goat farm? Nope, it's gone all the way down to the Kindle Waste. Where are we? Ah, there we are. Wickmouth Goat Farm. There we go. So I knew it was just there. So obviously, once you've discovered that, moving up here, you come to your first bridge, and that is where we are bound for. So, without further more, let's get to it. Let's go and have a look. Now, the reason I called it the Black Gates of the Albaneve is because, again, because it's the first bridge, but also because I like to think of it as a rather kind of defensive feature here. So the way I've built it is almost as if it's to warn unwary travelers coming through into this biome, or you know, even to stop scavengers or you know, other scavengers or other creatures from this biome into, you know, approaching into the Kindle Wastes and over into Ember Vale proper. So I've built it, you know, again, it's very much a usable base, but in the same breath, you know, I've tried to incorporate it into the landscape again. And it's not a renovation, so there's no way I can show you before and after. So here we are, just coming up to it now. So as you can see, this is normally the first bridge that you might come to. So let's do a bit of a swoop past. So as you can see, here we are. So this is the road you'll come up. The goat farm is actually further down this path and further down that way. So I built it just here, and obviously, you know, here you can see we have, you know, 4 towers, 2 on this side, 2 on the other. So as you come up, you can see we have, you know, some palisades there. We have the spikes coming out. Hallowed Hall banners. So what you would normally come up to is obviously none of this would be here. None of this brickwork would be here. As you come up here, obviously we can see the statues and that, but they would not be here either. These doors wouldn't be here. But this you'll recognise. The bridge remains absolutely untouched. I've left it in its complete original form. There are normally a couple of enemies here. Obviously they are not here. Obviously I put down the flame altar. That prevents them from being back here. But this bridge has remained untouched, including the huge gaps in the side. Now again, that is a really nice view. As I said, over off to one side you can see the frozen waterfall at the end, you know, complete with its hidden chest behind it. And over this side as well, you know, again you can see it drops off into the shroud down below. So it's again, it's a really lovely view. So let's, as we head down here, you can see again the gates, you know, protecting. here. Now, this is where I placed the flame. Just here. I was half tempted to place it in the middle of the bridge, to be honest with you, so you had a flame, but it didn't seem right that you would be walking across the bridge and have to dodge either side to get past the flame altar. So in the end, it ended up here. So yes, and this side is pretty much the same. So as you come out here, you can see you have the dragon's heads up there. Right, so what have we actually built here? We've got the 4 towers and the walkways in between. Now, let's take a look. So, in this tower, at the bottom here, we have a storeroom. As I said, this is, you know, a fully working base, should you wish. Again, we have, you know, there's all the little magic chests there, so you can place all of your items into it. We have, you know, a water well just here, so you can gather all of your waters. Fenrig looking after all our plants and crops, and many of the things that are brought in from the biome or out of the biome are all, you know, brought here and stored in the base of the towers. So, and as you can see out here, here's all our seedlings for all of the crops and vegetables and items that we wish to grow. Over here we have a few benches as well, because like I said, this is not a bad view at all. Possibly be a lot nicer without the shroud, but there you go. So as we head up the towers, up there you can see again more store space. Again, many of the lighter items are placed more upstairs here. So it's what you'd call some light decoration there. Again, largely empty on this section. But then as we head up, we come to another door. Now, as we walk out of here, we walk into the armory section. There's our little flame mosaic on the floor. So here you can see is the armory. Again, we have the suits of armor from there, you know, either side we have the banners, the shields above. Again, above the doors you can see heads and trophies. Tapestry over there. And again, some of the actual weapons along with the suit of armor on display here. And again, over here, some more weapons. Now, the reason this has been placed here, mind the statues, is over here we have the blacksmith area. Hello. Now we have we have the forges. We basically have all of the blacksmith's items here. So we have the forges, we have the smelters, and all of the other items. We have the tools over here at the side, and you know many of the resources that we'd need apparently packed up in boxes and sacks here, and a small display in front, sort of her handiwork. Now, obviously, you know, as I said, this mirrors the bridge down below, so it does span across on both sides. But for the moment, we will concentrate on this tower. We'll do each tower. So as we walk through here, again, you can see I've decorated it here. The mosaic up on the wall. Several heads there. You can hear our resident bard in the background there. So as you can see, there are some decorations around. Now let's head up the blacksmith's tower. See a nice little bench there, nice little seating area. Again, with windows that look out. And down onto the blacksmith's area. So as we continue up, some parts of the towers upwards are reasonably empty. Up here again, you can see some suits of armor. Flower display over at the side there. Again, while it is a tower and it is largely, I mean, all this flooring here is all the granite block flooring. And we also have the granite walls here. However, some of it I've also done in the polished granite as well. So as we come up to the towers, you can see all 4 towers are basically the same. So as you come up, we've got one of the new huge braziers here. Helping to light up the towers, and we also have our various watchers out here. So we have Oswald watching over the blacksmith's tower, So from here you can see you have a sight down either side of the biome. You can see what's coming down the path and, you know, hopefully spot any trouble inbound or incoming. With the towers being this high, you could spot any, you know, dragons or, you know, wyverns or anything else heading across here. So this is the blacksmith tower. Right, let's head down. Okay. Now, I'll actually go around. So back through the armory section. As you can see, I use this here to effect. I like these windows along here. I wanted to really showcase the view that we have on each side, which also seems pretty good because I have all the bedrooms and bathrooms down here on the left-hand side here. So these are all, I've tried to do them all slightly differently so they don't look the same. Obviously, you can see here we have suit by the bed, weapons, staves up on the wall here. This person, obviously quite a social person, you know, they have a nice, you know, table and chairs here with, you know, inviting friends into the room. You know, maybe they use the main dining area or maybe they prefer to dine in private, who knows. Leave that to your imagination. As we go further down, you will see, as I have said, these are all bedrooms or bathrooms. And I've tried to do each one differently. I didn't like the concept of copy-paste. I mean, you will see the basic format of all single beds. And obviously the burial beds with burial furniture, because that's where we are. But here you can see it's always decorated slightly differently to make it feel better, rather than just, hey, here's another bedroom, put the bed here, put the chairs here, put the... like I said, I want them to be different according to the personalities of the people who would be sleeping in here, rather than just a generic copy and paste. And to be honest with you, you do have enough, in my opinion, you have enough decorations now to be able to make these areas, you know, very much individual and very different. Although that can be difficult considering there's now 22 NPCs you could have to a base. I have used places obviously such as in the lake town, and that way you've got space for all 22. I don't do it too much though. In here you can see we have a bathroom, so there's one bathroom per side. You can have all the fragrances and oils on the table here, along with all the buckets and such for, you know, filling the bath up. Obviously shower here. Again with the toilets, I really do like these small black toilets. I think I'm in favour now of them not having a back piece to them, so that you can actually create your own and then just push the toilet into it. Allows you to kind of decorate it and do it the way you want it to. It was a tough call as to whether to use, I've actually used hallowed hall blocks there for the backs of the toilets, whereas I was not sure whether to use the obsidian, but I know the obsidian has hints of gold on it as well, which I really like, but no, I use the hallowed halls ones here. And a nice big fireplace, because obviously, you know, if you're going to be stripping down, especially in this biome, to have a bath or a shower, you want to be kept warm. So further along here we have the library. So again, this is where many of the books, manuscripts and other items actually, you know, come to rest once they're repaired and fixed. See, so we have our bookcases here. A couple of our NPCs here enjoying either reading or maybe they're just chatting. And since Ramon's a bard, I've no doubt he's looking up for old songs or anything else there. Again, you know, we have enough decorations. I try to make each bookshelf slightly different. Can be tricky sometimes, and obviously, you know, placement of items. Again, we have tables and chairs here, so they can sit down here in the comfort, maybe grab themselves a drink, you know, and settle in for the night to read, maybe. Right, now, as we go into this tower, this is what I call the alchemist tower. close that behind. So here you can see we have all of the fossil display cases. And such, it's like a little museum down the bottom here. So you can see we have fossils on display there. And you've probably seen over at the blacksmiths I use some of the Black Maya statues as well, and I have them just here. So let's head up this tower to begin with. We'll go down afterwards. So here you can see in the blacksmith's area we have several shelves here with bottles and potions and liquids. Plenty of packing cases with resources, you know, bookshelves filled with equipment and tools, manuscripts. There we have scrolls. Lady Leclerc here. See, she's hard at work in the alchemy station. Again, you can see I've used it's pretty thin, and it can be a little bit difficult sometimes to place furniture up here without it being too cluttered. I've tried to do as good as I could, really. Let's have some light on the subject. There we go. So I've tried to make it look. I've tried to make it eye-catching. I've tried to put in as much as possible, but without making it feel too overcrowded. Otherwise, sometimes I think you put in too much and it just feels crammed. And don't get me wrong, in some places you're going to want crammed and chaotic, and you know, it suits maybe the personality of the person or the room. But here I just didn't feel that. I did want to fit in as much as possible, but I didn't want to make it overly crammed. There we have the cat. Who's that? That's Tiger, isn't it? That cat, I believe, a little tabby. And so here you can you see we have a journalist desk. And basically, you know, for writing journals, perhaps for, you know, transcribing manuscripts or preparing scrolls, you know, underneath, nicely situated underneath here, because as we go up, you can see this point is completely open. So we head up here and through, and you can see again we're on top of one of the towers, so we have one of the balefire braziers there. And again, you can see here, nighttime view. And again, you'll probably get a very good shot here. So not only do we have the shroud down there, and a wonderful view, but obviously when we look across here, you can now see the other towers. Bright against the dark of the night with these huge balefire braziers. It's Balthazar. Let's leave you there. So let's head down. So we'll go to the bottom of the tower. Obviously I want to do top to bottom of each tower. Like I said, you know, I've designated this the alchemist tower. Probably for obvious reasons. So we head down here. So as we go through, you can see some of these levels of the tower I leave relatively empty and undecorated. So here you can see we have some more storage items, and here as well more bags and resources and bits and pieces. Now they're either coming out of the Albaneve biome, or maybe they're coming from the Kindle Wastes and beyond from Embervale.
Hello.
Oh, there's Maria, the reeds. So again down here, plenty of storage space, plenty of boxes and bags and barrels. And again, a water well, and the reason for this is mirroring the opposite side. You can see here we have a balcony, we have our beehives out here, we have all of our seed planters here. Again, and another very, very nice view, especially this time in the morning there. In-game. So let's close that up. Now we'll have a quick look, because obviously we are again the other side of the bridge. So now what I'm going to do is just cross over. So we'll close this door behind us and head through. Now again, these towers do very much match each other at the bottom. So here you'll see we have a guardhouse. So here it's for people coming from the Kindle Waste and Vale onto heading into the Albaneve district. You know, here they may be searched, they may be questioned, or just, you know, generally warned about the occupants of the Albaneve biome. Here you can see, just in case of scavenger attack or anything else, we have a number of weapons, armor, shields, you know, all ready, just in case. And these watchers are ever vigilant for trouble. And of course, you know, the storerooms opposite are for any of the things brought in, so that they can check any of the trading boxes or anything that's brought in. They're placed in the towers first of all for scrutiny. Not that anybody would necessarily be smuggling anything in or out. I just felt it was appropriate. Okay, so here we are. We are back upstairs. And so this is a section, as you can see ahead of me is the alchemist. So this is the alchemist tower that we've just had a look at. And as you see through here, this is the library that we came from. So, without further ado, we shall move onwards. Now, I'll show you where that door goes to, because the next ones go to the same area. So let's walk round. And in fact, we'll go upwards first. So here we have the carpenter's area. It's not caves at the moment. Yeah. They aren't. So up here you have all your carpentry section. Kiln over there. In the corner. Around here all your woodworking benches and your normal workbench. Some supplies. Up here some very light decoration. I do try to make it so that you don't just end up with stone everywhere. You know, you can end up going up towers and, you know, just having stone walls and nothing else. But I've tried to put a few plants around and make it, you know, a little more decorative. Now, I'm pretty sure anybody else could have put this to largely good use. So up here is Athlan, a huntress, keeping an eagle eye out on the surroundings. Again, you know, watching out for trouble, making sure we don't get any scavenger attacks, or keeping a watchful eye out for, you know, traders and travellers, to make sure that, you know, either gain the greeting that they deserve. Again, there's the 4 towers, so let's head down. So as you can see, that was the carpenters. Now as we head down here, we'll go back round and I'll show you where those 2 doors go. So this leads into the kitchen, which has double doors. So you come in via that door around the tower, or this is the door I just looked at and said that we would go round. And again, this leads us out. Here you can have the hulking brawler over the door there. I sometimes use those heads to actually mark so I know which room I'm walking into, because I will admit that sometimes I do get lost in my own builds. End up running around them like, where did I leave this? Where did I leave that? Okay, so here we are in the kitchen. I placed some of those little side tables up on the wall. I like using those as overhead cupboards. I do think they play the part very well. In here we have a large fire. And Emily Frey in here, of course, because she has some of the best recipes and best food. So as you can see, we've got all of our jugs and, you know, mugs and everything over here. Tried to put in a working sink. As you like, I sunk a shower into the floor, so that I can have it over the bowl and make it look like a working sink. I keep treading. I'm sorry, cat. I keep treading into your food. I'm so sorry. Now you can see again, I've got the nice sort of wooden tops. I like using the wooden tops. So you have the hearth and fire placed in there. Again, a few decorations around. Up here we have all the plates and mugs and goblets and jugs, spices, potions, oils, you know, plates, everything that I believe a kitchen would need. And obviously supplies over here, everything from wheat, barley, grain, you know, to other items. So as we walk down here, again, you can see that we've got a stunning view out of here. There's the lake, or frozen lake, the frozen river leading up to the waterfall at the top. And of course there are actually Vuka living along those banks, and besides the goat farm where you might find rabbits and deer and everything back there, I believe there are actually normally some I forgot the animal's name, so basically the buffalo style. They're normally along the banks here. Anyway, moving on. Our first room here is the bathroom. I said there's a bathroom on each side. Again, you can see we have a nice little table here, some, you know, buckets and jugs to fill with water to keep the bath full. Again, you can see there's a, you know, a bit of decoration here, a lovely big warm fire to keep you warm while you're doing your business there, or, you know, taking a bath or having a shower. And obviously over here we have, you know, a few items again, you know, a sink so that you can wash your hands and everything after business. And all of these again are bedrooms, so we have bedrooms along here, and I'm glad they have this big window behind me, because obviously being on the inside here you couldn't have windows on in here, they wouldn't go on to anything, so it would still be pretty dark. So I'm glad they have that huge window outside, you know, so they do have a lovely view. But also with these rooms, that means that they would, I would hope that they would be a lot warmer, because obviously they're internal rooms, they all have their own little fireplaces there. So I'm hoping that with no window or any other way to get a draft, it would keep them, you know, very warm. Again, as I said, I've tried to do each room differently, so you can see some have shields, some have staves, you know, different decoration, some pots, pans, some books. A little bit of all sorts, really. Just to give the room a very kind of different feel to each one. Yeah, you can see this one. In here we have a few, you know, boxes. There, storage boxes. Quite a bit going on here. Obviously, that's the elite armor from the hallowed halls. Over here you have your various shelf and urns and such up on the wall there, shields. Whoever has this room, probably more of a martial person, maybe a soldier or a guard. And finally, the last bedroom. In here, so in here you can see we have a couple of gnomes guarding the fireplace there. You know, quite garden orientated here, with more than a few flowers and such, as you can tell by the staves on the wall. More aligned to a magic user, and certainly with the armor there, I believe that's the thaumaturge's armor. There's a couple of wands on the wall, a stave there, and also a writing desk that's here for the journal. Almost a shame they don't have druids in this game. I might have said it's got that kind of earthy feeling to it. So as we move over here, you will see just here we have the dining room. So this is where people might you know, congregate, basically, you know, to have dinner, or, you know, maybe to have lunch, where they can sit down in comfort. Again, from this end of the room, you can see we have shields over the fireplace. Now we have Valerie the Bard practicing a few songs and probably singing to a few of the guests here. As you walk over here, this is, as you can see, the hunter's area. So I'm not quite sure where the dog's gone. The dog seems to run around all over the place and never really seems to stay here. And see, we have several bows on show here. And of course we have all of the carpenter's benches. Carpenters, the hunter's benches. What is wrong with me? The carpenter's benches. We have the hunter's benches here, and this is potentially the hunter's tower. So, first of all, let's go up before we go down. So, we shall head out of here. As you can see, that's the blacksmith's tower that way. We have been there. So, let us head up. Of course, we have another little balcony here overlooking the hunter's area. And as we go further up, you can see we have all of the drying racks here. You know, keeps it nice and dry, and yet still by the very top opening, where it would absolutely get a bit more air to it. Again, more of the hunter's benches just there, and then up onto the tower. Hello, Valen. He really does have the whole witchfinder thing going on there. But you can see he's watching the pass here, and he's watching the path. As I said, up there, some Volca. I think that's a Volca sacrifice hill up there as well. And obviously over there you can see you have the waterfall and the frozen river running up it. And again, we can see Oswald stood over there. So the towers are within sight of each other as well. I think you could definitely, if I could go back, if I could, I might make the towers slightly wider apart. And that way the bedrooms could perhaps have windows on them looking over at each other. But I don't know. I don't think this turned out too badly at all. Again, I quite like it. Let's head through, close that door, and let's head to the bottom of the tower. As I said, I do generally tend to mirror the two, so two of the bottom towers are basically storerooms for items that are either coming in or, oh, there's a dog, that are either coming in or out of the biome from, you know, travellers and such. Obviously, you know, if we've raided scavengers or scavengers have tried to come through, then, you know, whatever items are taken could be stored here as well before being sent wherever they need to go. Right, now at the bottom here we have another guard room, because obviously perhaps people coming out of the Albaneve, you know, district, again, you know, we want to make them feel welcome, travellers such as they come through. So here we very much have more weapons and items up on the wall, some more suits of armour, certainly some of the new armour here. As you can see, plenty of shields and such, a couple of heads up on the wall. But here you can see, you know, they're left with plenty of drink, keep themselves hydrated while they're down here, while they're on watch. Probably not the most exciting of job, but necessary. Here we have the training dummies. So, as we head out, you might say that is the Black Gates of the Albaneve. But, of course, I always leave one till last, don't I? And let's face it, who is always last but not least on this list? That's right, Olden. I was calling him Mr. Creepy. The Collector. So, luckily there was just enough room with a level 4 flame to be able to do something with this Volca cave here. So, who better to take charge of this one than Olden? Right, let's open those doors. So you can see, as we head in, green flames licking up on either side there. Here we have some standing sarcophagi either side of the wall. Okay, close those doors please. Let's leave the light outside. Yep, standing sarcophagi to either side. There we have the Hallows Eve banners, along with the pumpkins. They are on both sides. So I laid the floor in here in the hallowed halls blocks. over here, you can see we have the Hallowed Halls trophies here. Various books, trinkets and crystals that come from there. Some of the VUCA stuff I left in here, to be honest with you. I mean, obviously not the crystals and the furniture. But some of these, such as the wooden stands here, I just left here. I refloored the cave, mostly, and obviously I put in a bit more of a ceiling, which gives us that lovely green ectoplasm style light. And some of these hanging bits as well, they just felt appropriate. Again, over here we have, you know, Holden's writing desk, these various manuscripts and unnamed knowledge. Over here, bookcases. Again, a smattering of decoration. And Holden over here at our ectoplasm forge. The creepy one-eyed Cyclops keeping an eye on things. But again, as always, I've placed him separately and given him his own chamber. I almost called it a torture chamber. I don't know why. I already have this guy pegged as something, you know, slightly unusual and perhaps not friendly, and I don't even know whether that's correct, to be honest with you. I think we'll have to make up our own minds on that. Guess I perhaps shouldn't be too harsh. But that's it. I mean, you could literally turn this cave into anything. Right. So, that is the Black Gates of the Albaneve. So I'm calling them. And there we go. That is the build that I've done on this one. And yeah, like I said, I hope you had a very good Christmas and have had a very happy New Year. And with that, we'll consign this to memory. And wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I hope you have a good day or have had a good day. In which case, bye for now.